Hey, what's going on, comic book community? Now, as the title implies, yes, it really was terrible, and this has kind of put me off conventions, like, I guess permanently. After this experience, I have, no desire whatsoever to go back to one of these. It really was a complete and utter disaster, from the get-go, it took almost an hour just to find parking as soon as we got there, and the traffic was just really terrible, and every lot was charging whatever they wanted for their own spaces. But we ended up parking by Union Tower, which was only offering a $5 parking for a whole 8 hours, and pretty much that's the only good thing about this day. So first off, as soon as we got in there was no coordination whatsoever. Security attendees were just yelling at everybody because it just wasn't even organized at all. As soon as you got in there, you're going the wrong way, you gotta go here, you gotta go there. There's 5-6 different checkpoints all asking you for the same damn thing. I'm what's the point of being told this 7 different times? And the worst thing of it all is that there's this whole process where you got to use your badge to get in and out of the building at every little turn. And it was just a complete train wreck. Nobody knew what was going on. As soon as you enter the actual convention, you're greeted to the showroom, basically all the seller booths. And yeah, I didn't have the best experience. Basically, every single one of them was asking way above what you can get these comics for online. So I guess with inflation and everything and the price to set up a booth there, you gotta mark up everything just to make a decent profit. But I'm damn, I barely even found anything. And then one of the things that really ticked me off was that I actually went in with the expectation that I was going to get all these books signed. Hayden Christensen himself, Darth Vader, was there. Jon Bernthal, I was going to get this book autographed from him. Carrie Ann Moss, I was going to get the Matrix book, because nowadays getting a hold of Keanu Reeves is almost impossible. And then the main voice for Mario for the games was going to be there, but apparently he was scheduled super late, and I'm for the price that we paid for these tickets, it is not worth the standing in line just for him to be there for a whole hour and then not even getting the opportunity to actually get it autographed. So what really set me off is that when we got to the celebrity section of the arena, there was nobody knew what the hell was going on. So when we go down there, nobody even explained to you that there's an actual line, but you weren't allowed in the line because it was only VIP people that were allowed in first. So what happened was that every single VIP person was handed out a ticket. So those were the ones that always took priority. So apparently the event staff overestimated the attendance of people that were actually going to be there. So they handed out way more VIP tickets than apparently what they usually got. So that really set everything back for the rest of us common folk. And the worst part of it all was that the people that were actually working there, it's they just didn't give a fuck about anything. And they didn't even know what was going on half of the time. So I was trying to hit all the celebrity sections in order. First I was going to get Jon Bernthal to sign my Punisher book. So what the guy was telling me was that there's an order process that you have to come see him, and he was going to issue you one of these tickets, and that was going to be your place in line to actually go up to the booth and get something autographed or a picture taken. And there was just this mass miscommunication of what was going on. Apparently he was handing out duplicate tickets, so there was people with the same number of tickets. The one was VIP, one wasn't, and like what it all boils down to is that nobody knew what was actually going on. So there's a line there, but the way the tickets were being handled is that there was actual no process of knowing when a person was next, what number they had, or everything was done by hand, so it was like quickly falling off the rails. So I literally sat at Jon Bernthal's booth. Well, I didn't sit because there was no actual line. Like everybody was just pushed up into the middle of the convention center with no actual line. Everybody was just grouped up. And then like the worst thing of it all was that people were just cutting in line, and there was a guy that came up to me and saying, "Oh yeah, dude, I just went up there and got this book autographed. I didn't even have to wait in line." I'm like, damn. And then, so what are we doing wrong here? And so I go up to talk to the attendant that was in charge for Jon Bernthal's booth. He goes, "Oh, well, it's just the time, you know." Like, he didn't even know what he was trying to say. So what it boiled down to is that they're basically just calling it in numerical order, and literally the line just started building up behind me. I'm like, there is no way this is going to get, like, anywhere close to being, you know, even remotely possible to do. So like I told my wife, "Hey, you can just walk around," like, because when I walked up to the line, they were serving the 320th person in line, and the ticket that they happened to give me was 435. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to be here a minute. So they were just going by so slowly. People were just skipping the line, and the guy wasn't even paying attention to what was going on because he was too busy chit-chatting with one of the other attendants, the one that was in charge of Vincent D'Onofrio, which was the line right next to him. And there was people asking him tickets, and he wasn't even paying attention to what he was handing out. So I was in that one particular spot for over an hour, and we haven't even moved up an inch. And then people just started coming and coming and coming. And they had gotten to the point that I guess the coordinator for the celebrities was coming up, and she was trying to tell the attendee guy, "Hey man, you got to be careful what you're doing because you're slowing up the process," which was true because he wasn't even paying attention half of the time. And then like I was like trying to hurry up to get to Hayden Christensen's table, but he was like way on the other side of the actual building. I'm like, but that, like, if you just glance over, his line is already like a mile long, and he's still only on the VIP people. I'm like, damn. And his autographs were were commanding $150 from the convention. I'm like, well, first off, that line is like super long, and it's just VIP only, and I don't even think I'm going to be able to have that much money to get that book autograph. So I got to keep my priorities straight here. And then the Carrie Ann Moss, which was the booth to the right of Jon Bernthal, she like had nobody in that line until I went up and asked and said, well, this is a VIP only for now. And then I was just sitting there waiting, and my wife and my baby were literally just getting frustrated standing there. And I just told them, just go ahead and go somewhere. Like, I don't know how long this line is gonna last here. So I literally am just standing there minding my own business, and then this lady starts getting into a conversation with us because my wife just insisted that we try and get at least something out of this whole trip. And she was like, hey, so what number are you guys? I'm like, we're just 435. I'm like, oh wow. She had a ticket like number 450, and everybody's literally just getting frustrated because the line is not moving, but yet there's people coming in and out of the line getting their stuff autographed. So I personally go up and talk to the attendant going, hey man, like, what's actually going on here? Because if we're supposed to be going by what you told us to do in this ticket thing, and then they're supposed to be calling out our numbers, you haven't even updated this board in almost 30 minutes, and the line's not even moving. And he gets all the, oh, well, no, that, that's not that long. I apologize, sir. We're just trying to get the smooth process right now. Everybody that's technically in the line is only VIP only. And then I'm trying to, like, break down, like, so what you're telling me is that basically there's 300 VIP people in line, and you're just handing out tickets, and then Jon Bernthal's scheduled panel is supposed to be at 1:45. Mind you, we got to the convention center at 10. It took us a whole hour to find parking, so we entered the building at technically 11 when it actually opens, and we're sitting here in line almost an hour, so it's like noon, and then waiting that extra hour in line, it's literally almost 12:45, and we're just waiting, and he just like has no proper response. He goes, well, you're just gonna have to wait. And like, wait where? There's literally like no line. You got us all bunched up in the center going nowhere. And I'm like, dude, this is... and it wasn't even like just this particular place. Even to me, like the voice actors and like everybody else, it was just a complete train wreck. So we basically leave for about an hour, because there's no point in standing here if Jon Bernthal's going to leave in like 20 minutes. So we head up to a chicken place like that's literally right down the road. We come back and it's like around 3:30ish, almost 4 o'clock, and we get up there and like that whole section is just clear. And I see that the Vincent D'Onofrio, Charlie Cox, Hayden Christensen, and then the other guy, their entire section was clear. So the only one that was actually there was Carrie Ann Moss. And then I try to just rush up in line and get, well, we're not taking anybody else, sorry. I'm like, well, that's a bummer. So I go back up to that damn attendant that was there for the Jon Bernthal line, and goes, hey, when's he gonna be back? Oh, well, I'm not so sure in particular, the place closes at 7 and he's scheduled to leave at 7, but if you come back at 6 o'clock, and there's still no guarantee of you getting anything signed, because the line isn't moving that much farther. We kind of overestimated. So now he's telling me that they can't honor any of the autographs of the tickets past 390. I'm like, you fucking idiot, man. Like, if you would have done your job, we could have done this as quick as possible. So then basically he was just trying to give me the rundown. Well, you can always just come back tomorrow. I'm like, this fucking guy. Like, we literally spent $125 just to get into the building, with the promise that we were going to have our place in each line to get something autographed. And then you're basically telling us, well, better luck next time. And then I basically didn't leave empty-handed, but yeah, this kind of set me off to like, I'm never doing one of these ever again. So, well, at this one booth, I managed to pick up El Diablo number 6, which is the last issue in this series. I picked that up for $1. That's not the best condition. It's already got like spine ticks and it's folded. Another one actually had some decent DC Universe logo variants. He wanted $1 for them, but they weren't even worth that, because most of them were already like destroyed. The covers were torn off, spine ticks, spine rolls. This one was in decent steel number 8 DC Universe. Another one, I got this for $3. Marvel Knights Punisher number 8, the first appearance of the Russian. And I also managed to pick another copy of it for $3. And this one I managed to score. He let it go for 15. It's the Amazing Spider-Man number 162. I guess this is the first full appearance of Jigsaw. So yeah, guys, it's like a really troublesome day, and it's a complete waste of time. And at the end of the day, I talked to one of the ticket takers, and she basically told me to just dispute the charge with the bank, since they weren't going to issue refunds on that day. So I guess I know I sounded pretty negative, but at least I didn't leave empty-handed for the most part. But yeah, as far as it goes for conventions, I'm never going to another one again. So take care, guys.